Hello, Aquarius, and this is the first of the bi-weekly horoscopes that I think I'm going to start doing from now on. And of course, this also applies if you have an Aquarius rising, also known as the Aquarius ascendant. Just so you guys know, I had a lot of people kind of wondering, how is this going to go? So let's talk about how this is going to go. I've also updated my website and everything, and I fixed the problem because some people were trying to find my website through like Google searches and things like that, and it was taking them to an older version of the website that was not updated. So if you now everything goes there, whether you use the links below in the description bar below, if you actually just type in the address integrativemysticism.com, or you choose to Google search or Yahoo search, everything's going to go to the right place now. So apologize for that. So what is going on with this new style, this new form of horoscopes? Well, I'm combining tarot and astrology. However, I do know that some people resonate with one more than the other. So the first portion is going to be all astrology, and the second portion is going to be all cards. So we're going to cover both weeks in both capacities. So you can watch the whole thing if you like both, or you can choose whichever you like. So let's get started with the astrology on the matter here. Let's talk about the 5th through the 11th when it comes to the astrology. What's changing for the Aquarian people? Well, one of the big things that's changing up here is that we've got Jupiter moving into your 9th house of higher education, okay, higher learning, higher spiritual education, travel, and international business opportunities. And so over the next 13 months, I do definitely see travel. That's not necessarily going to be very difficult to look at. But a lot of you Aquarian people may actually find yourselves in a wonderful position to go back to school, renew your education, or maybe you want to get a job in education, be a teacher, be a professor, or maybe even be an author or work in research. This is definitely the year where those things are starting to pay off for you. If you're looking to kind of get work or start work online, work overseas, this is also going to be creating a lot of revenue for you. You're highly encouraged during this time to also expand on your mundane education and on your spiritual education, Aquarius. Some of you may be actually deciding to undergo a spiritual study, such as, meditation or yoga, energy work, magic, however you want to do it, tarot, astrology. You may actually, decide that this is something that you can and will commit to with conscious discipline. And I actually highly encourage that you do. But also at the same time, allow your bubble to expand. Job changes are highly likely, again, especially for those of you that already work in education or in government. You may actually find yourself on a really fast track to something much better than where you are right now. We've also got Saturn forming a square to Neptune between your 2nd house of earned income, where Neptune is, and Saturn in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And there may be a clash between shared responsibilities and shared financial responsibilities with a friend or with a colleague or collaborator during this time. And this might be something that really does kind of tick you off, okay, because we're not seeing a lot of good come out of this. If you feel like you cannot loan money to a friend, or you are not really feeling like finding a job for a friend or referring a friend is going to be in your best interest, you're right. Don't. For the week of the 12th through the 15th, we do have this full moon lunar eclipse occurring in that 2nd house of earned income. And this creates an opportunity for transition, for ending, over the next couple of months. A lot of you you Aquarian people who are looking for new work. Those of you who are looking to put in your 2 weeks, give your notice. You may do so over the next couple of weeks. You may also find yourself in a position to actually move into more of a dream job territory. Maybe you're not even working in the industry you want to work in anymore. So pay attention, especially in the first 3 weeks after this eclipse, but all the way up until the end of November, you're going to be noticing transition opportunities throwing themselves at you. We've also got, between the 12th and the 18th, Mercury, currently retrograde in your 8th house of intimacy and shared resources, forming a 10th square to Mars in your 11th house of friendships. And again, the problem that comes with money or sharing resources with friends not working out. And the problem with this Mercury retrograde is this is talking about a friend taking advantage of a favor you did for them way back when. All right, this is related to that Saturn-Neptune square, which has been going on pretty much since the beginning of the year. So what could be happening is that we may be getting, again, fed up with a friend or fed up with a business partner or a collaborator who is not pulling their weight or has clearly outstayed their welcome. So let's get started with the cards. What's going on with those cards? Well, for your spiritual advice for the 5th through the 11th, the first week of this reading, we do have the card of Elven Touch, which is talking about making a comeback. There's going to be a restoration opportunity going in for you, and maybe second chances to boot. This could be a situation where a lot of you Aquarian people are feeling like a locked door may now be opened, or something that was closed off to you is now reopened, or maybe even offered a second time. And this week you are definitely, put on notice. It doesn't mean it was never meant to be. This obviously, even if we were rejected in the first place, it does not mean it wasn't meant to be. In fact, this comeback or revival means it was meant to be something for you. The change to go within another direction was the mistake, but you get your second chance. For your finances and your work life, we do have the Two of Pentacles inverted. And this card is saying that you, again, a lot of you Aquarian people are going to be really kind of trimming the fat or getting rid of some of the burdens that, that kind of come from the current job situation or financial situation that you are in. We are making room for new opportunities, and I think that with the Two of Pentacles inverted, you may be dropping some priorities as well. If you need to make any adjustments to your schedule or to your availability, this is the week to do it. Put in those requests because people will actually comply. What I like about the Two of Pentacles inverted as well is that we actually see your workload decreasing while your earning power stays the same. For your messages and your communications, we do have the Six of Cups inverted. And this card speaks a lot to an old problem or a cyclical issue, or maybe a problem individual finally changing permanently in your life. If you've been dealing with recurring cycles, recurring problems with friends, with relatives, we always kind of come back to the same issue, come back to the same fight. Sometimes what can happen is that we need to pay attention to where, again, time spent with somebody does not, over the years, history does not hold a relationship together. And it most certainly doesn't hold a person standing in that kind of connection together either. And again, very much like what we saw with the cards here, with the planets, if you watch the astrology, it's almost like we're seeing somebody take too much history for granted. History doesn't mean anything. It's effort that matters. For your emotions and your romantic life, we've got the Judgment card upright. This card can indicate a big discussion coming about whether or not the choice to become monogamous or official is on the table for some of you single Aquarian people who may be dating or talking to crushes, or maybe you've been just kind of like hooking up every now and then. The Judgment card upright says some serious talks are going to be going on at this point in time. Now, the Judgment card upright just indicates an appraisal here, so we're just going to find out where we stand with each other. But if you are hoping to go official, this is one of the best signs you can have as, kind of a preamble or prelude of things to come. For those of you who are currently coupled, the Judgment card upright is basically saying, this week I feel like you and your partner, again, are going to be doing that appraisal of the relationship, but more in how the two of you are assessing the quality of life the two of you have together. And your partner may be coming around to an agenda or as something you wish that the two of you could have done earlier. Again, second chances. They may be finally coming around to your way of thinking. So let's move on to the 12th through the 18th. All right, for your spiritual advice, we've got the card of Otherworld. Okay, and this card does talk about transition, alterations, and endings. It's kind of like the Death card in this deck. But this, again, very much like the Death card in the Tarot, talks about a transition or an ending that you see coming. This is something that you know you must do. This is something you know you can't put off. And so this week, if the opportunity to leave or walk away or call something quits or call it quits with somebody, you might actually want to be honest with yourself. Because if you're waiting for the time is right, to again put in that notice, give that heads up, this is the week to do so. For your finances and your work life, we've got the King of Cups upright. This is actually really nice because we actually have you kind of being treated a little bit like teacher's pet or office favorite this week. The King of Cups is also talking about becoming more buddy-buddy on a personal level with a coworker or somebody who actually does have resources that could get you higher up on your own personal ladder. And one of the things about the King of Cups is showing that we're being hand-picked, whether we're being hand-picked from a group of people or being hand-picked just one-on-one. This week, a lot of you Aquarian people are going to notice that you're being offered opportunities that not everyone else is. And this could also happen just right in the middle of a hiring process. For your messages and your communications, we do have the Queen of Pentacles inverted. This week, I want you to be careful about the neediness of a female friend or relative with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, because they may be trying way too hard to co-opt you into performing a function in your life, in their life, that you did not sign on for. You know, sometimes that happens where, you know, we have a friend or a relative who's suddenly turning us into a crutch, or suddenly turning us into their counselor, their therapist, or their bodyguard, or their bank account. And with the Queen of Pentacles inverted, usually it shows up when a person should be able to do this on their own, but they are choosing not to. And so this week we definitely want to redraw the boundary if we must. For your emotions and your romantic life, we do have the Three of Pentacles inverted. Bit of a teamwork breakdown going on in the love life, in the love department here with the Three of Pentacles inverted. When we talk about teamwork breakdown, it doesn't mean like the whole relationship's falling to pieces. It just basically means that, okay, somehow we're all going in different directions with a mutual idea or an ideal that we want to actually see happen together. Because the Three of Pentacles inverted can show up where a couple or just two people who are dating, or maybe somebody new that you meet and yourself are not, again, we're not in sync. We're not in sync. We're not working as a team. We're kind of looking for the I in team. We're kind of thinking more, you know, and people are kind of behaving a little bit more individualistically than is healthy in a relationship where there are more than one person involved, and certainly more than one individual involved. And so this week we've got to work on bringing team effort back into the relationship. It's not about who's in charge, who's not in charge, who gets their way, who doesn't get their way. But if we're not working on a team where we're all trying to get a personal agenda met, it's really going to cause more of a tug of war or a fight over the relationship or who's in control of the relationship than actually getting anything done. So we've got to make sure that we take care of that. So that is your forecast, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.